Alrighty, folks, we are 10-1 in our last 11 board member picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have another board member tier package play going off here today. And I'll, discuss a little bit more about all that in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my Major League Baseball free pick video here today. For Monday, September 2nd, 2024. Happy Labor Day to you. Hopefully you had a great weekend. And of course, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. And once again, folks, we are 10-1 in our last 11 board member tier package picks. And I'll tell you, if you sign up for that membership here today, you're going to get access to that package every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. They're going to be included with your membership. You're also going to get access to my board member video during that time frame as well. That's a video where we break down those premium selections in further detail. Now, folks, we are currently 3-0 in our last 3 daily best plays. 2-0 in our last couple of crowd pleaser teasers. And once again, we are 10-1 in our last 11 board member tier package picks. And the good news is we have plays going off in all of those memberships here today. And they're all included with your board member package. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Cardinals squaring off against the Brewers. That's going to be a 2:10 Eastern first pitch. Milwaukee's minus $1.70, total 7.5. Freddie Peralta for Milwaukee, Andre Polani for St. Louis. And even though Polani's having a good, a decent year, strikeouts are definitely down, and he doesn't have a winning record. And even though the Redbirds, have played well recently, they've actually struggled against divisional opponents this year. They're just 9-14 in their road games against the NL Central. And in their last 10 meetings with Milwaukee, the Cards have been held to just 3.1 runs per game. So they're struggling in the box. If you're into historical, trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. And we could see more of the same here today as they, square off against a big strikeout guy in Freddie Peralta. The righty's got 172 strikeouts with the Brewers, along with a 1.19 whip. Now, he's also backed by a top 5 run-producing lineup in the game. Willy Adames has the 8th most RBI in the bigs. William Contreras with the most hits on the roster. Now, 2 out of Milwaukee's last 3 at home did get over the total. They're also 7-3 to the over in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Brewers minus 170, over 8. Next game, White Sox, Orioles, 305 East. Baltimore's minus 375, totals 8.5. Corbin Burns for the O's, Chris Flexen for Chicago. Now, Flexen has been awful this year. He's just 2-13 with an ERA in the 5s. Of course, at the plate, the White Sox are the lowest run-scoring team in baseball. And they're going to have to deal with a 12-win Corbin Burns, who's got 150 strikeouts and an ERA in the 3s. Of course, at the plate, the O's are in the top 5 in the league in runs per game. Gunnar Henderson's the club leader in hits. Anthony Santander's got the 3rd most homers in the majors. Now, injury-wise, Mountcastle and Westberg are still a bit banged up for the O's. Brooks Baldwin questionable for Chicago. When it comes to the total, these White Sox pitchers actually allowed 6.6 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with the O's. Obviously, 9-1 to the over in those meetings. So once again, if you're into historical trends, plenty of overs to go around. Meanwhile, Baltimore went 8-3 to the over in their last 11 Corbin Burns starts. Give me Baltimore minus 1.5, over 8.5. Next game, Guardians, Royals, 4:10 p.m. East. KC's the 5-cent favorite. They're minus $1.15, totals 8.5. Michael Wacha for the Royals, Gavin Williams for Cleveland. Now, the righty Williams is just 2-7 with an ERA of 4.99. And at the plate, the Guardians have definitely, struggled hitting the baseball on the road. They're a bottom 5 hit-producing lineup in their travels. And they're going to face an 11-6 Michael Wacha, who's got 120 punch-outs and an ERA in the 3s. Of course, at the plate, the Royals, they continue to destroy the baseball at Kauffman Stadium. They're a top 3 run-scoring team at home in the league. Bobby Witt Jr., he's got the highest qualifying batting average in the majors, OPS in the thousands. And Salvi Perez, he's got an on-base percentage of .336. Now, injury-wise, Renfroe and Pasquantino, they are still banged up for the Royals. When it comes to the total, 6 out of KC's last 10 ball games did get over the total. They also saw their last 4 straight Michael Wacha starts get over the line. It was actually 33 total runs they scored in those 4 games. Give me KC minus $1.15, over 8.5. All right, next game, little interleague play here. Astros Reds, 4:10 p.m. East. Houston's $1.55, totals 9.5. Justin Verlander for the Stros, Julian Aguilar for the Reds. And through just 14 innings of work this year, the righty Aguilar's definitely taken his lumps. He currently has just 7 strikeouts and an ERA in the 6s. Of course, at the plate, the Reds really haven't been much better, especially at the Great American Ballpark. These guys are a bottom 3 hit-producing lineup at home. And they're going to face a Houston club who can definitely slug with the best of them. Houston's in the top 3 in hits per contest. Yordan Alvarez, he's got 30 home runs and an OPS of .971. And Jose Altuve, he leads the clubhouse in hits. Now, injury-wise, Bregman is questionable for the Astros. Espinal day-to-day for Cincinnati. Give me Houston minus $1.60. All right, next game, little NL West action here. Dodgers, Diamondbacks, 4:10 Eastern start. The LA Dodgers are minus $1.45, totals 8.5. Jack Flaherty for the Dodgers, Eduardo Rodriguez for the Diamondbacks. Now, Ed Rod's got a 1.22 whip with the D-backs, and he's yet to record a loss with them. And I'll tell you what, it certainly helps him out that he's currently pitching for the best run-producing lineup in the game. Lourdes Gurriel leads the clubhouse in hits. Eugenio Suarez, he's got the most RBI. And they're going to face a Dodger club on the other side who took the loss in 2 out of Flaherty's last 3 starts. Hello. And for some reason, the Dodgers have struggled with the Diamondbacks in recent gatherings. They've actually allowed 11.1 hits a game on average in their last 10 meetings. Now, total-wise, the Dodgers went 8-2 to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Arizona saw 8 out of their last 10 get over the total themselves. Give me the Diamondbacks plus 1.5. Over 8.5. All right, next matchup, some more interleague play here. Tigers, Padres, 6:40 p.m. East. San Diego is the $2.05 favorite, totals 8 runs. Joe Musgrove for the Pods, Ty Madden possible for Detroit. And I'll tell you this much, regardless of how Madden ends up throwing if he starts, the Tigers as a team, they've had all kinds of problems, definitely significant issues at the plate this season. They really don't walk a whole lot, not a lot of free passes, and they are in the bottom 10 in hits per game. So kind of struggling getting base runners. And they're going to face a Padres club on the other side who's actually quite the opposite. They're the exact opposite. They're actually averaging more hits per 9 than any other clubhouse in the major leagues right now. Manny Machado, he's got the most homers and RBI on the team. Luis Arraez hits .312. When it comes to the total, San Diego went 60% to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Detroit saw 3 out of their last 4 road games get over the total themselves. Give me the Padres minus 1.5, over 8. Next ball game, Twins, Rays, 6:50 p.m. East. Tampa Bay is $1.20 at home, totals 8. Zach Littell for the Rays, S.W. Richardson for Minnesota. Now, Richardson's definitely had a real solid year for Minnesota. Through 117 innings, he's got an ERA in the threes along with a 1.18 whip. And that was 23 total starts for Richardson. And during that time frame, the righties recorded only 3 losses. But I tell you what, it ain't, just pitching for the Twins either. These guys do a nice job at the plate. Minnesota is currently a top 10 run-producing team. Willie Castro leads the organization in hits. Matt Warner has an OPS in the 900s. And they're going to take on a 5-8 Zach Littell, who's got a 1.31 whip, and obviously a losing record on the year. But even if Littell's solid today on the mound, the Rays as a team, they have not scored many runs in St. Petersburg. These guys are a bottom 3 run-producing team at home. Now, injury-wise, Palacios is still banged up for Tampa. Correa, Buxton, and Margot for Minnesota on the other side. 6 out of the Twins' last 10 ball games did stay under the total. They also went 60% to the under in their last 10 meetings with Tampa Bay. Now, the Rays on the other side, they saw unders in their last 4 straight Zach Littell starts. Give me Minnesota plus $1, under 8. Next game, AL West, Mariners, A's, 707 East. Seattle's $1.45 on the road, total 7.5. Logan Gilbert for Seattle, Ozzie Beto for Oakland. And the righty Beto continues to throw well for the A's. He's got an ERA in the threes along with a 1.07 whip. And believe it or not, the A's actually have a winning record against divisional opponents at the Coliseum this year. And they're facing a Seattle club on the other side who actually plays their worst baseball away from home. These guys are a dozen games below 500 in their travels. And, pretty much all of that has to do with their terrible bats. The Mariners are dead last in hits, and they actually strike out more times a game than any other club in the league. And as good as Logan Gilbert's thrown, well, he comes into today's game with a losing 7-10 record. Now, total-wise, Seattle's 11-5 to the under in their divisional road games. Meanwhile, Oakland saw 4 out of their last 5 Ozzie Beto starts stay under the line. Give me Oakland plus 1.5, under 7.5. All right, next matchup. Excuse me. Next matchup, Red Sox, Mets, 7:10 Eastern start. The Mets are minus $1.20 in Flushing, Queens. Totals 8 runs. Luis Severino for New York. Brian Bayo for Boston. And, at the plate, Boston's been crushing the baseball in their travels. They're a top 3 run-scoring team on the road. Meanwhile, the Mets on the other side, they won their last 4 straight. And they've been scoring consistently over the past week or so. Now, total-wise, the Mets are 13-7 to the over against American League opponents at Citi Field. Meanwhile, for Boston, they've gone 60% to the over in their interleague road games. And if you want to see whether I'm making a play on the money line or run line in this one, this game is being featured as my extra daily pick on my premium page. But as far as making a free play is concerned, give me the over 8. Next matchup, Pirates-Cubs, 7:40 Eastern start. Chicago's $1.45, total 7.5. Jameson Taillon for Chicago, Jared Jones for Pittsburgh. And even though Jones has been solid this year, the Bucks just consistently don't want to win for the guy. Jones is just 5-7 on the year despite some really good stuff. And a lot of that has to do with poor plate appearances. Pittsburgh's a bottom 10 run-scoring team on the road. They're also striking out more times a game away from home than any other roster in the National League. And they're going to face Jameson Taillon, who's got 104 punch-outs himself, along with an ERA in the threes. And, Chicago's opponents, they've struggled hitting the baseball against them in the friendly confines. The Cubbies allow fewer runs a game at home than any other pitching staff besides one. Give me Chicago minus 145. And with that, folks, we are going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Yankees-Rangers game. That'll be an 8:05 Eastern start. The Yankees are minus 175 away from home. Totals 8.5. Garrett Cole for New York. Jack Leiter for Texas. And through just 13-plus innings of work this year, the youngster Leiter already has an ERA in the 12s. And, you know, that's certainly bad news for Rangers fans because, you know, Texas doesn't hit well at Globe Life Field. Matter of fact, these guys are a bottom 5 run-scoring team on their own diamond. And they're going to face Garrett Cole, who's got an ERA in the 3s. He also averages over a strikeout an inning. Now, Cole's currently backed by the best run-scoring lineup on the road in the game. Aaron Judge is first in home runs, RBI, and OPS. And of course, Jazz Chisholm and Juan Soto. They've got OPS averages in the thousands themselves. Give the Yankees minus 1.5 over 8.5 runs. And with that, folks, we are going to dive into our quick pick recap. Give the Brewers minus 170 over 8. Baltimore minus 1.5 over 8.5. Royals minus $1.15 over 8.5 runs. I like Houston minus 160, getting the job done for some money line cash. Arizona plus 1.5 over 8.5. Padres minus 1.5 over 8 runs. Minnesota plus $1 under 8. Oakland plus 1.5 under 7.5. I like the over 8 in the Red Sox-Mets game. Give me the Cubs minus 145. Give me the Yankees minus 1.5 over 8.5 runs. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that package every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. And that's why I've always, that's why I've been saying here recently, that Gold Club package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Gold Club video absolutely free. It's included with your membership. But most importantly, folks, I do have to, thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Monday to you. Happy Labor Day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium site at patreon.com/BrockPage.